Edo state government don confirm again say dem go fully implement the disability laws to make sure say people wey get disability get better support, protection and inclusion for society. For Benin City during the 2025 International Day for Persons with Disability, government tok say inclusion for every sector dey very important. Dis one follow the inauguration of the Edo State Commission for Persons with Disability on March 26, 2025, one major step to strengthen advocacy and take care of vulnerable people. Secretary to the State Government's SSG Barrister Musa Ehilo, wey represent the governor, yarn say the commission go continue to push government programs wey go give equal opportunity to everybody. E still remind people say both Bible and Quran condemn discrimination against persons with disability and come urge citizens to show love and correct values, say law no be everything, say people gats understand say persons living with disability deserve respect and care for everything wey we dey do. Government also beg the public to support efforts wey go help PWS get access to public buildings, job opportunities, and strong community support.
A person was cursed who gives a wrong direction to a blind person. And Christ told us in the book of Matthew to invite the vulnerable, the weak, the lame, the crippled, the blind to our dinner as hosts. All these are scriptural teachings. As Muslim, for instance, a lot of Muslims know that in the Quran, the only part of the Quran where the Prophet was criticized for something wrong he did was when, in an attempt to attend to a so-called elite or rich man, ignored a blind person who needed his attention. There was a blind man who wanted to ask him few questions. And because he felt the blind man was interrupting his speech to the so-called leader or political stakeholder, he was a bit irritated, and God had to chastise him for that and say, why did you ignore the blind man? So values like this are very important for us to disseminate amongst people so that you prepare their mind when it comes to implementation of whatever is in the law or is in the disability law. Beyond law, people need to be able to connect to what they hold in value, what they cherish, what they hold dearly, and to understand that they need to do this and do it well. When I was seated here, I saw that the chairman of the Disability Commission was invited to give a speech. And he got here, but he was not able to climb this podium. And that is because the podium is not disability friendly. The podium like this is supposed to have a ramp. If it has a ramp, anybody with a wheelchair can climb, and any other sort of support system. But when it only has a staircase, then you deny people access. So this is a perfect metaphor for how persons with disability can get access to public buildings, to public spaces. So imagine how many people have been unable to ask for their rights, have been unable to get employment, have been unable to get admissions or appointments just because they could not access an office. Very important. Thousands of people have been denied that. This is the kind of orientation we need to push out there, the kind of advocacy we need to do so that we become a society that cares for its most vulnerable and a society that can be judged to be civilized and prosperous. As a government, we will continue to do the best we can to support the Commission and to support all persons with disability through the Commission. In my own personal capacity, I know what I do personally to see that things move smoothly for the Commission. Even with that, I still know that there are challenges, and I admit that those challenges are there. But I believe that going forward, things will be better and things will improve drastically.
Chemo Jonah PW for Edo State and Ojugo come use the opportunity call for real inclusion for areas like healthcare and education. She hailed government for empowering over 200 PWDs with 200,000 naira each to start small businesses.
Establishment of the
If we're not
commission,
ready with any
it is
other
effective.
items,
We
except
want to
media
see
tells me that
that
they're ready
there is
with that short snippet.
inclusion in the healthcare sector, in the education center. We have to see inclusion in workplace. We have to see inclusion in all facets of life in Edo State, both even in our home. We want the inclusion to start from our home. We want inclusion in every areas of life in Edo State. We want there to be ramps, and in fact, inclusion is what we want. And we want just like we heard that some of us cannot do things for ourselves because there is exclusion. So it's inclusion we are looking for, and we have preached this inclusion for a long time. We want it to be workable now. We want it to be a workable beyond paper. We want it to be beyond a black and white. We want it to be in practical, to be practiced now, not just in papers. We have come here, we will write it, we will say it, we dance, jamboree. We want it to be workable now, and it can only be workable through the Edo State government of Edo State. Yes, he's really doing enough. The other day, over 250 persons were empowered with 200,000 naira to start a business. That's enough. And we are asking like the Oliver Twist.
When the government did, coordinator of the Office of the First Lady, represented by Dr. Andre Yamu, Konyan said the Okpebholo-led administration believes that disability, not be inability, described the Disability Commission as one big achievement, and I'm sure the Office of the First Lady will continue to support education, healthcare, and economic empowerment for PWS. Them also call on stakeholders to join hands with government to build an Edo State where they truly inclusive, where inclusion not go just remain for paper but for real life.
The speech of the First Lady goes like this. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of government, our partners in disability community, all invited guests. It is with great honor and deep commitment that I stand before you today to speak on a theme that lies at the heart of a just and progressive society. Effective inclusion in governance for people with disability in Edo State. A society is measured not only by its accomplishment, but also by how it treats and empowers its most vulnerable members. In Edo State, we firmly believe that disability is not inability, and that every citizen, regardless of physical, sensory, or intellectual limitations, deserve an equal seat at the table of governance. Today, I reaffirm this government's unwavering recognition of the rights, dignity, and contribution of people with disability. Our administrations understands that inclusion is not charity, it is responsibility. It is not a favor. It is a constitutional and moral obligation. That is why the Edo State government has taken decisive steps to strengthen the institutional framework that support persons with disabilities. One of the most significant of these steps is the creation of the Edo State Commission for Persons with Disability, a landmark achievement that underscores our commitment to ensuring that no one is left behind. The Commission will serve as a watchdog, an advocate, and a bridge, ensuring that disability issues are integrated into every policy, project, and decision of government. It will work with ministries, agencies, development partners, and civil society to guarantee accessibility, representation, and equal opportunities across sectors. As First Lady, I pledge to continue championing initiatives that promote education, healthcare access, economic empowerment, and the protection of the rights of persons living with disabilities. Together, we will deepen awareness, eliminate discrimination, and expand opportunities for participation in governance and leadership. Let us remember, when we include everyone, we strengthen our democracy. When we broaden participation, we enrich governance. And when we lift up those who face barriers, we lift up our entire state. Today, I call on all stakeholders, public officials, traditional institutions, community leaders, and private organizations to join hands with us in the building a more inclusive Edo State, a state where every citizen, regardless of circumstances, can stand proudly and say, I belong, I matter, I am seen, I am heard. Together, let us continue shaping an Edo where inclusion is not a slogan, but a lived reality.
The event ended with our award presentation to Governor Okpebholo, the coordinator of the Office of the First Lady, and the SSG to appreciate their contribution to the welfare of vulnerable people for the state. Make una no forget say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We no dey take blame. Ekata Ojeisole, TMC News.